Oh, hey, it's you. Do you remember the last time we were together? We was at Where's All the Black People at Convene. It was such a good night. Good people, good drinks, and we tore up that dance floor. But let's be real. In the midst of all that chaos, I realized I never got a chance to properly introduce myself. But I have something brewing just for you. Get ready for an all backstage pass into my world. The highs, the quirks, and why I'm gonna shake things up in the ad game. Buckle up and enjoy the ride. Who am I? My name is Patrick Richardson, and I'm a student at New York City College of Technology, majoring in communication design with a minor in psychology. Both of my parents are from the South, which means I inherited their Southern charm. My parents moved to New York City in hopes that there would be a better chance for success for not only them, but for me and my siblings. It was an awesome choice because today my mother and sister both work for NYPD and my brother's a mechanic. But me, I'm still here grinding. My father was an icon in my neighborhood. When I say everyone loved Mr. Marv, everybody did. He worked as a window washer for the city, so he had to know everyone in order to get his jobs. You couldn't even go to the store without him stopping to speak to someone. Before he passed away, he taught me how to make genuine connections with people, how to work with what you got, and how to be persistent. Those are traits I adopted in honor of him. My mother's a person I thank every day, not only for raising me, but for nurturing my creativity. When I first started to draw, I used to pick flowers off the tree next to my building and drew them using some old printed paper and a number 2 pencil. I remember when my mother took me to an art store for the first time. She told me to get what I needed, but I had no clue as to what I needed. All I knew is that I needed something to draw with, so I grabbed a pack of markers and a pad of drawing paper. I was so overwhelmed that I forgot to grab a pencil. As I kept creating and creating, I started to realize that I was conceptualizing while I drew. And as I worked, the messaging and illustrations got more intense and amazing. My whole life, I knew I wasn't like the other boys. I didn't like sports except baseball, and mostly because my first crush was Bruno Mars. When I started school at New Design High School, I started to become more expressive with other mediums. There, I learned how to create garments in sustainable ways, creating products with purpose. However, on this particular day after school, my cousin decided to drop by with a boyfriend to visit a family. But he had something to tell me. He first asked if I was gay, and I said yes, nervously of course. Then he told me that it's so right that I am. Like I ever needed his approval. But then he told me, it's time for me to learn that everything that I'm doing is a waste of time because the world is only going to see me as a gay black man, and they don't want you to exist. Can you imagine hearing that as a preteen in high school? That day is when my worldview started to shift. As I got older and started to build my community, I started to realize that that message doesn't only apply to me, but also to the ones I call my family. When I came about that realization, I started to recognize the power I have to create change as a creative, but I needed to find a space where I can strengthen it. That's why I chose you, MAIP. With my creative power and guidance, we can MAIP change happen. So as you're making your choice, remember this. When you choose me, you're also choosing yourself.